Welcome in on this Friday morning and a special edition of Behind the Story. We typically do them on Thursdays, but here we are welcoming you into the weekend. I'm joined by Zac Summers. Hey there, Zac.
Hey, it's been a busy week. I mean, we have a new pope, so
I know
that
we
kind
do.
of superseded almost everything yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
yesterday was a very busy day, but also very exciting.
Yeah.
And you know, we have to talk about your story for this week, secret emoji language. And so I know I use emojis all the time, specifically like the laughing emoji. I might use a heart or two here and there, but Zac, some emojis could have a different meaning for different generations. So you sat down with a group of mothers. Tell us a little bit more about their concerns.
Yeah, well, before we get there, let's talk
Yeah.
about how this story even came about,
Yeah.
because I'm not a parent.
Right.
But I am an uncle. And, you know, I know a lot of folks who are parents, but I was actually scrolling on LinkedIn, and I came across a chart. It was like a periodic table, if you will. I don't know. Oh, yeah, there it is. And I found this fascinating.
Right.
The person who made this chart, Amit Kali, he's actually a former vice principal, and now he runs an organization called For Working Parents, just trying to help parents, you know, kind of, you know, navigate the world of being a parent.
Right.
And he came up with this chart based on his knowledge and based on things that his expertise of being an educator. And I just thought that this was fascinating because some of these I had kind of knew what the double meaning could be, but others really took me off guard.
Right.
More of them did than not,
Yeah.
because literally I know only a couple of those. And I just thought it was fascinating. I thought, well, if me not being a parent, am fascinated by this, surely other parents would want to know what this
Means.
chart is about,
Yeah.
what it means. And then also I saw recently, I don't know if you've seen it, Adolescence on Netflix.
I've heard of it.
And in that show,
Yeah.
there's a teenager accused of murdering a classmate, but that show also deals with coded language and the secret language, if you will, kids use, whether it be acronyms or emojis, to kind of explain what they're saying. And so I said, you know what, let's do a story about this. Let's start a conversation and get parents talking about it. So we ended up sitting down with 3 local moms, and we kind of put them to the test to see if they knew some of these double meanings
Right.
behind emojis and acronyms. And it was, I think it was eye-opening for me and for them. Like, I can tell you, they hardly knew any of them.
Right.
And they were taken aback by it, and truly, Janae, they were sharing acronyms with me that I had never heard of. I like to think I'm a little hip, you
Right.
know. I'm not too.
You are hip, Zac.
Yeah,
You are.
I
We'll give
try
you
to
that.
stay in the know.
But I think that was probably my favorite part of your story is when you sat down with those 3 moms and you had like cards. You were
Yeah.
holding up cards like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
And one of them, I won't throw it out there, but one of them, I didn't even know what the emoji stood for. I thought it was something completely different, but a mom's like, no, this is what it means.
Yeah,
And she was right.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. I mean,
Yeah.
we were limited in our time with them, but we showed them about 10 different examples. Half of them were acronyms, half of them were emojis, and you know, I just there was one mom who just was so shocked by what she was hearing. Like when they would guess, and I'm like, no, it means this. She was just like, God, I can't believe this is like what this is. I hope my kid's not talking like this.
Right. And then some of them mean self-harm.
Yeah.
I know when we let's go back to that chart. But if we just stop on this chart, you see the scissors there. Well, there's actually a whole category that says self-harm, but the scissors. And then the
I mean, you have drugs,
emoji.
violence, sex, extremism, self-harm. I mean, very heavy subject matter that you would hope kids aren't engaging in. And let me just add, this is not a black and white. This is not like if you see your kid with, you know, an 8-ball on their phone that they're talking about, you know, drugs necessarily. Right. It just, the point in talking with the gentleman who's created this chart is that, hey, parents, if you are seeing something interesting in your kids' phones, talk to them about it. Ask them questions about it, and get an understanding of what it is, because sometimes it can mean something that you would never think.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest piece of it, is the context of it, and just keeping an eye out for your children. And I think that brings us to the CEO of Screen Sanity. Tell us a little bit more about what she said and what she suggests also that parents do.
Yeah, so Screen Sanity, it's a local organization, and they help parents navigate the digital world. And it was really great talking with Tracy Foster, the CEO and co-founder. And she gave a lot of good resources and tips that parents could use to try to, work through this, if you will. And one thing that I thought she said that was important is she suggested parents come to the conversation with curiosity. And she explains how a lot of times young kids, if you just are curious about their world, you ask them questions about their world, not coming in too hard, not accusatory or like blaming, just come with some curiosity. 9 times out of 10 they will engage and they will talk to you about it. So, and the story goes into other resources and things like that. We actually have links to like hundreds of what could be, what these emojis and acronyms could be. So parents, if you're interested in taking a peek at it, I would encourage you to, toward the bottom of the story, there's a lot of links that you could just maybe one day take a day, look through, and then have a conversation with your kids. Because at the end of the day, the point of this story is for parents. It's to start a conversation with your little ones.
And then again, you tie in that Netflix show that's on, or the show that is on Netflix, I should say.
Which is also worth watching.
Yeah, very
I think.
powerful.
And for our moms who actually watched that series, it sparked a conversation with their kids after watching it. So it's worth a watch. Adolescence on Netflix.
That's great. And so before I let our viewers go, I do want to end on this quote that I took from your story. Them saying, one of the mothers, "You think my kids at home, they're safe?" And it's like, no, there's still this whole world in their hands that is just not safe. And I think that's something that will stick with me, because kids of all ages now have these phones, they have these smart devices, and it's just about being aware as to what they are doing and what they are saying on those devices.
Absolutely. Like I believe it's like 95% of kids before like the age of 11 have access to a smartphone. So it's a crazy world. As adults, we know it's a crazy world that device can be, but ensuring that our children know how to use it properly and in a healthy way is important.
And very safely. I do want to direct our viewers to our website, KCTV5.com. Zach, as you have already mentioned, you have that chart there, but then you also have these acronyms, a few acronyms that parents can look to and learn.
And if you scroll down even more, there's a whole bunch of links that they can click through toward the bottom of the story.
So definitely head over to our website, KCTV5.com. Watch this special project story that Zach did with our photojournalist, Beth Peak. Did a great job here, Zach. Thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk for Behind the Story.
Thank you. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.